What's good, y'all? My name is Marc Russell. I'm a financial wellness board member with National Debt Relief. I have over a decade of experience working in the financial services world, and it's my goal to make very complex financial concepts that you hear every single day. I want to make them easy so you can transform your financial life. Why would I want to do that? Even though I was doing really well as a financial advisor and stockbroker some years ago, I found myself in a significant amount of debt. At my highest point, I was around $80,000 in debt, so I know firsthand how stressful it can be being in debt. However, at one point I said enough is enough, and I wanted to turn my financial life around. Right now, I'm proud to say I'm 100% debt-free, and I'm on a mission to help others take control of their financial life too. This has become a profession, and right now you might see me in my features in Time Magazine, CNBC, Harvard Business Review, or even Forbes Magazine. I've even been nominated for multiple financial educational awards, and now I'm here to teach you how to be better with your money. Today, we're going to talk about Chapter 7 bankruptcy, what it is, how it works, and whether it could be the right solution for you. Maybe you've heard the term before, but you're not sure what it means and how it can help you. Or maybe you're weighing your options, wondering if this is the relief you need. Whatever it is, after watching this video, you'll have a better idea of what Chapter 7 bankruptcy is. Chapter 7 bankruptcy is the most common type of bankruptcy in the United States, and for good reason. It's one of the fastest and least expensive ways to erase your overwhelming debt and start fresh. In fact, more than half of all personal bankruptcies in 2024 have been Chapter 7 bankruptcies. The whole process can take as little as 120 days or just 4 months. Compared to Chapter 13 bankruptcy, which can take around 3 to 5 years, it's easy to see why people are turning to Chapter 7 bankruptcy when they're struggling financially. But while it's fast and effective, it's not for everyone. There are requirements to qualify, and there are some long-term financial consequences, which is why in some cases it might not be the best move for you. In this video, we're breaking down what Chapter 7 bankruptcy is, how it works, and whether you qualify for it. We'll talk about the pros and cons of filing for Chapter 7, alternatives that might work better for you, and how to know if Chapter 7 is truly the best choice for your unique financial situation. All right, let's break this down. First up, what is Chapter 7 bankruptcy and how does it work? Chapter 7 bankruptcy is designed to help people erase unsecured debt. What does unsecured debt mean? I got you, don't worry, I'm gonna break it down. I mean debts like credit cards, medical bills, personal loans, and old utility bills. Once you file for Chapter 7 and complete the process, these debts could be wiped away, giving you a fresh financial start. Now, what makes Chapter 7 bankruptcy unique is the so-called liquidation bankruptcy. That means in some cases, the bankruptcy courts may require you to sell certain assets to pay off creditors. But, and this comes with a big and promising but, many people who file don't actually lose the exempt possessions. Why is that, you might ask? Because every state has its own exemptions that protect things like your home, your car, and your personal belongings. If your assets fall under your state's exemption list, you get to keep them. Check out your state's exemption list via the link in the description. And the best part, the whole process is quick. In most cases, it's within 4 to 6 months, compared to Chapter 13 bankruptcy, which takes years to complete. That said, Chapter 7 isn't free. There are court fees, and if you hire an attorney, there's legal fees as well. The total cost can range from $500 to $2,500, depending on where you live and whether you get legal help. Also, and this is very important, Chapter 7 bankruptcy will hurt your credit score. Before we talk about whether it's the right move for you, let's go over who actually qualifies. Now, not everyone qualifies for Chapter 7. To be eligible, you have to pass something called the means test. The means test looks at your income, your household size, your expenses to determine whether you make too much money to file for Chapter 7. If your income is below your state's median income, you automatically qualify. If it's above, you still may qualify, but the court will take a closer look at your finances. If you don't pass the means test, you might have to file for Chapter 13 bankruptcy instead, which involves a repayment plan instead of debt elimination. Now, we talked about unsecured debts like credit cards and medical bills that Chapter 7 can wipe away. But what about secured debts like mortgages and car loans? Well, here's the deal, my friends. If you want to keep your car and your house, you have to keep making your payments. Chapter 7 doesn't erase secured debts unless you're willing to give up that asset. Filing for bankruptcy definitely isn't an end-all be-all, so I want you guys to keep that in mind. All right, now that you know how it all works and who qualifies, let's talk about the pros and the cons. All right, let's talk about the positives that come along with Chapter 7 bankruptcy. For one, it's the fastest form of debt relief available. In as little as 4 months, you could be debt-free. That's a huge contrast to Chapter 13 bankruptcy, which can take 3 to 5 years for secure payments before you see the finish line. It's also the least expensive type of bankruptcy because it doesn't require ongoing payments to creditors like Chapter 13 does. Instead, it wipes away most unsecured debts like credit credit cards, medical bills, and personal loans, giving you a fresh start. And despite what a lot of people think, you may not have to give up everything. If your car, your home, your personal belongings fall underneath your state's exemption list, you could keep them while still eliminating your debt. But remember to check your state's exemption list before filing. Now, Chapter 7 has some major benefits, but it's not a perfect solution, and it's not for everybody. One of the biggest challenges is qualifying in the first place. There are income requirements, and if you make too much, you might not be eligible. Even if you do qualify, there's another risk. You could lose certain assets if their value exceeds the exemption limits in your state. And another important thing to know, not all debts are wiped out by definition. If your biggest financial burden are student loans, child support, alimony, or certain tax debts, filing for Chapter 7 probably won't make these disappear, unfortunately. Another item to note is filing for Chapter 7 bankruptcy will hurt your credit score. So what happens if you're in one of these situations? When is Chapter 7 not the right move? I'll break all that down. There are a few cases where Chapter 7 might not be your best option. Again, if you own a home, a car, or other valuable assets that exceeds your state's exemption limit, you could be at risk of losing these assets during the bankruptcy process. This is why it's crucial to understand how much of your property is protected before filing. Here's another situation. If your biggest financial struggle is secured debt, like a mortgage or a car loan, Chapter 7 won't help unless you're willing to give up that asset. Like credit card debt, which is unsecured, secured loans are tied to something tangible like a house or a vehicle. If you want to keep making payments and hold on to your home or your car, Chapter 13 might be a better fit. And then there's the issue of non-dischargeable debt. If the majority of what you owe is in student loans, tax debt, child support, or alimony, bankruptcy won't erase these obligations. If those types of debts make up most of your financial struggle, other types of debt relief may be better suited for you. If based on this, Chapter 7 doesn't seem like the right fit for your situation, don't worry. Fortunately, there are other debt relief options that might work better for you and help you avoid the long-term consequences of bankruptcy. One of these options is debt settlement. This is where the debt relief company negotiates with your creditors on your behalf to reduce the total amount that you owe. Instead of paying your full balance, you might be able to settle your debts for a fraction of what you originally owed. This option works best if you have a significant amount of unsecured debt like credit cards or medical bills, and you can set aside a lump sum or secure payments to make settlements over time. Do you want to know more about what debt settlement is exactly? Check out this video where I tell you all about it. Another alternative is debt consolidation. This includes combining multiple debts into one loan and paying it off with a monthly payment, usually at a lower interest rate. Instead of juggling multiple creditors with different due dates and fees, a debt consolidation loan or program helps streamline your payments, making it easier to manage and pay down your debts faster. This is especially useful if you have multiple high interest debts and want to simplify your repayment strategy, and if you're able to get a debt consolidation loan at favorable terms. Want to know more about debt consolidation and how it can help you get rid of debt faster, cheaper, in a more manageable way? Check out this video where I go over the pros and cons of debt consolidation in detail. And then there's Chapter 13 bankruptcy. If you don't qualify for Chapter 7 due to income restrictions, Chapter 13 lets you keep your assets while following a structured repayment plan. Unlike Chapter 7, where your debts are erased, Chapter 13 restructures your debt into a more manageable repayment plan over about 3 to 5 years, allowing you to gradually pay off your debts while keeping your home, your car, and other valuable assets. Click on this video if you want to know more about Chapter 7 bankruptcy and how it compares to Chapter 13 bankruptcy. If any of these options sound like they're a good fit for you, there's good news. You don't have to figure it out alone. There are plenty of debt relief companies out there that specialize in helping people explore these different options. They have in-house debt experts who can walk you through settlement, debt consolidation, and repayment plans, making sure you find the best solution for your unique financial situation. Before making any big decisions, please take the time to weigh all your different options. Bankruptcy could be a powerful tool, but it should probably be your last resort because of the long-term financial consequences. If there's a way to sell or restructure your debt without going through bankruptcy, that could be a better long-term move for you financially. All right, let's wrap this all up. Again, before making any big financial decisions, take the time to weigh out your options. Sure, Chapter 7 bankruptcy could be a powerful tool as it's fast and effective, but if there's another way to pay off your debts without having to go through bankruptcy, that could be a better long-term move for you financially. Chapter 7 is not for everyone. Yes, if you meet the income requirements, have mostly unsecured debt, and need a fresh start, it could be a good move to check out. However, if you have assets that you want to protect or debts that can't be discharged, you probably want to explore other debt relief options. But the most important thing out of all of this, you don't have to be a alone on your journey of becoming debt-free. There are people who can help you figure this all out. If you're struggling with debt and looking for a solution, debt relief companies like National Debt Relief, which specialize in debt consolidation and relief programs, could help you in your journey of becoming debt-free. Debt relief companies like National Debt Relief have in-house debt experts who are there to help you. If you have any questions or would like a free, no obligation debt relief consultation call, visit their website at nationaldebtrelief.com. If you happen to have any questions regarding any other financial related topic, check out the other videos in this series on National Debt Relief's YouTube channel. It's our goal to make very complex financial concepts that you hear every single day. We want to make them easy so you can transform your financial life. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.